Hello everybody, Adrian here, midday in Queensland on the Gold Coast with the Life Mastery Show. So welcome, really super excited to be here yet again, and I would just like to do a little bit of a check-in with you if I may, because I just want to tune in and check in that you can hear me and you can see me. So if you could just let me know that you can hear me and see me by typing into the comments, that would be absolutely fantastic, because it is good to know that I'm being heard and being seen on the show. So if somebody could just let me know that yes, hi Adrian, we can hear you, we can see you, that would be great. There's nothing quite like not being heard and seen while talking to a screen. Hi Melanie, could let me know if you can just hear me and see me, that would be great. Hi Catherine. Just let me know, yes Adrian, hi, we can see your lips moving, or yes Adrian, we can hear you. Yep, so thanks Helen. So yep, meaning you can hear me, I take it, so that's absolutely fantastic. So welcome to the Life Mastery Show. Thanks Helen, yeah, loud and clear, that's all absolutely fantastic. So the best way to connect with me on here, and the best way to engage on here if you can, is to ask a question, because what I want to do on the show and what I do every single week is to support and help you and guide you and inspire you to go to the next level in your life, to get back on track in life, to bring in more alignment into your life, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, creatively, financially, sexually, intimately, in your relationship, what other area in life you might be struggling with. I want to get you back on track again. Yeah. So it's really good to ask a precise question, because if you give a precise question, I can then give a precise answer to help you get back on track. So each week we get people asking me quite generic questions. Sometimes people are asking me to download from the spiritual space in terms of mediumship. So let you know, I don't do mediumship on this show. I don't do the downloading from spirits or people who've passed on. This is purely about coaching, mentoring, and changing the subconscious patterning through a bit of psychotherapeutic work to help you to get back on track. So if there's anything going on for you right now where you feel like you need a bit of support, bit of guidance, bit of inspiration, then this is the format to do it. Just type it in and then I will read it out, and then I will see if I can support you on that journey. So just to let you know where I'm at right now, I'm in Robina. I've been here since 8 a.m. this morning. I was at a business breakfast meeting. You can see I've got my group leadership badge on. I'm a group leader for BX Networking, which is for people in business. And a little bit, it's a networking thing that we do every fortnight in different regions, and there's 5 currently on the Gold Coast, and I'm the team leader in Coolangatta, and today I was at a group in Robina, and then I've just had a leadership meeting, and I've just left that meeting to be on here with you live. So really exciting to be just sitting here and connecting up with you. So let's see if we've got any questions, because they're flying up here and I don't want to miss any. So Melanie, I struggle with getting out of the house, mixing with people, find life so hard. So the question for you, Melanie, is, what's the fear behind that? Because it sounds like there's a bit of sort of agoraphobia about going out of that space, mixing with people. So for me, always, Melanie, and for anybody else listening in, is about naming the fear. What's really going on? What are you afraid of stepping into? Is it your self-image? Is there afraid of, it's not enough self-love and self-care that you can actually put yourself into the world and feel comfortable? Or is it the fear of speaking, the fear of meeting, the fear of being accepted, the fear of being criticized, the fear of not feeling like you're fitting in? What's the fear? And I always suggest to people, when we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what's causing that disalignment, it's generally 3 things. It's fear, it's doubt, or it's self-hatred or lack of self-love. Sometimes it's a combination. And in this case, nearly always with agoraphobia, or staying in the home and not going out to meet people in socially, there's some fear going on for you. So it's all about naming the fear. What are you afraid of in that space? What may or may not happen in that space? So that's the question there for Melly. So just have a think about that for a moment and see if you can be a bit more specific in the question of my fear of going out is, my fear of mixing with people is. Because if you can get to that fear, then we can look at what you need to do to overcome that fear. So we always go down the rabbit hole. We start with a question and then we go down the rabbit hole step by step by step to clear up whatever the blockage is to stop you being in alignment with the nature of the very person in you that wants to go out and socialize, that wants to go out and mix with people. Because obviously if it's an issue, there's a yearning. And if you're not doing it, then something is blocking it. So let's find out what's blocking it. And my suggestion is right here, and it usually is with this, with agoraphobia, not going out of the home, there's a fear involved. And some people call it anxiety. But in the long term, it's actually a fear. So let's get to the bottom of that, Melanie. And for Melanie and anybody else on here now, if you want to do a 20-minute free consultation with me, private free consultation for 20 minutes to have a look at this, to ascertain where you are right now in life and to do some more work, go to my website, Adrian Hanks, it's Hanks, adrianhanks.com. Go to the book a session with Adrian and book in your free 20-minute consultation. Yeah, book in your free 20-minute consultation. And then we can do something together to go deeper. But we can do something on here too. Just wondering about my husband's health. So Catherine, same thing, is I'm not doing the psychic work here, but what I can do is to help to support you about your husband's health. So my question would be, 1, what's wrong with his health? 2, what's he doing to address his health? Is he doing the utmost in his being to address his health? Is he going to the best practitioners? Has he got a list and some clarity on what it really is he wants to get on top of in his health? Because for me, health is holistic. It's not just looking at the physical or the emotional, mental, spiritual. It's looking at the whole gamut of everything we have in our life. So it's holistic health and well-being. So what's he doing and what's he not doing in terms of his health? What does he need next? Is he looking after himself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? So go down the rabbit hole with me on here, Catherine, if you want to. Let's get a bit more clarity. Krista, what can I do tonight, 1212 portal, to help me with my total journey? So yeah, look, it is 1212, and in about, let's have a look, in about 4 minutes time, Queensland time, it will be 1212, 1212. So in 4 minutes time, we're just going to take a moment to celebrate 1212, 1212. Yep, on here in about 3 or 4 minutes time. But what can you do, Krista? The question for me around that for you would be, what do you want to happen? What would you like to happen in your life in that 12-12 moment? What are you longing for? What's your desire? What's your desire? Yeah. So the question, and I'd suggest, if you want to do anything in that moment, in that energy time today, in 12-12 today, is to set your vision. What is your vision? Create your vision, short-term, medium-term, long-term vision. Because when we set visions, we can then do the planning and then we can put things into action. So I'd say for everybody on here for 12-12, why don't you do your 12-month vision, because we're in 12-12, and particularly 12-12, 12-12, 12, why don't you do your 12-month vision? Where do you want to be in 12 months' time? Yeah, on 12-12-20. So still lots of 2s in there. So 12-12-2020, where do you want to be physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? Who is that, what I call the future potential self, going to be like in 12 months' time? So start to create that vision. Where do you want to be in 12 months' time? And if you want any work over a 12-month period, I love working with people long-term over 12 months. So I do that in group work. That group is actually closed now, and I've got a group going through 12 months. But I do individual work with people over 12 months. I coach people for 12 months. We get the vision of where they want to be, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, sexually, intimately, creatively, and all other aspects of life. And we set the plan, and then we work, once a week, twice a week, once a month, twice a month, whatever budget and time and energy people have. And we, get to that space as much as we can. And usually it means hard work. It means really breaking through some old mindsets, some old belief systems, some old old stories to get rid of, setting a new paradigm, setting the subconscious mind in a different pattern. And oftentimes it takes 12 months to fully adapt into new areas of one life. I've been working with my financial coach now, my financial team, for 18 months to change my limited beliefs around finance. So I've been coaching and working really hard and breaking through some old stories and old patterns of doing artwork and gesturing and psychotherapy and energy work to break through some of those old stories that I carry. And it's really starting to pay dividends. I'm really starting to break through in a new sense of my entrepreneurship and my belief around multi-millionaireship. And it's just fantastic. But it takes hard work, like I've been working really hard for 18 months over it. And there's still some old story. There's still some drakes, still some crystals to get rid of, sitting in there that need shifting. But I've done an amazing amount of work. And that's what it takes. It takes 12 months to make a turnaround usually. And that's what I love to do with people. So 12-12, where do you want to be in 12 months time? So we are currently in 11 minutes past 12. We're just coming up to 12 minutes past 12 on the 12th of the 12th. Here we go, we are on 12-12, 12-12. So just take a moment to honor that for a moment. Just take a moment to honor where you are right now in this moment. See if you can remember this in 12 months time. I was with Adrian on the Life Mastery Show at 12 minutes past 12 in Queensland time on the 12th of the 12th. Tuning in. And right now, I have a wish to change my life in this way. Maybe write it down. Write down your wish. And in 12 months' time, when I come back to this moment, my vision for that is I will be 10 kilos lighter, fitter, wealthier, in a better relationship, having more sex, having more intimacy, doing more creativity, deep within my vocation, deep within my passion. We'll have done that overseas holiday. Whatever your vision is, write it down right now if you can. And get clear on that vision. And I love doing visioning, I love doing vision boards and writing vision. But it's not a case of just getting pictures and sticking them on a piece of paper and forgetting it. Vision work is hard work. Getting real clarity on the vision, doing the meditations on the vision, focusing on one area of visioning. People who think personal development and spiritual development work is not a walk in the park. It's not just a breeze. You have to roll up your sleeves and get into it and work really bloody hard if you want the changes. If you want changes, you have to work for it. You really do. And having that coach, having that mentor, having that teacher, having that inspiration each week, each fortnight, each month, whatever you choose, is, for me, essential. Absolutely essential. That's why I have my coaches, have my mastermind partner, have my therapists, have the people to challenge me and guide me. It's really, really exciting, because then change happens. If you just think it and sit back and expect the universe to deliver, I'm sorry, but there will be disappointment. It's very, very rare for that to happen. Going with the flow is okay, but if you go with the flow in a river and if you're on a boat, you may hit a rock because the water goes towards rocks. But if you get guided around those rocks, you can go with the flow, but you need a rudder to miss the rocks. And that rudder is the coach, is the mentor, is the guide, is the inspirer. It really is. Getting people to help you change your life, work with your life. So let's have a look. Merry Christmas from New Zealand. Hello, lovely. So I just got a question up here. Will we find a house we all will enjoy? So Karen, the question is, have you written down your vision? Has everybody written down what they need in terms of their perfect house? And what I suggest you do, you all write it down. I want 4 bedrooms, it has to have a view, it has to have a pool, it has to have a garden, whatever it is. Everybody throws that into the jam jar. You all focus around it, and the best outcome for everybody will come from that. Because if there's a family, not everybody will be on the same page of needing the same things. But what you do from an energetic perspective, everybody will get something that they need. You may not get 100%, but you'll get something by putting all that energy into one pot, one jam jar, one pot in the table, collectively for what the family or the group need for that property. We've done that a couple of times, and we end up with the right place. So that's what I'd say to you, because then you focus on what you want and the universe will deliver if you're proactive in that space. So that's a really good little exercise to do. Rachel, hello, lovely to see you again. Where is my knight in shining armor? Can feel him around, just not representing himself. So Rachel, get really clear on what he looks like, what he smells like, what he tastes like, you know, what size he is, what a shape. And there's a beautiful piece of prose by Araya Mountain Dreamer called The Invitation. So Google it, The Invitation by Araya, O-R-I-A-H, Mountain Dreamer. I used this when I was looking for my next partner after when I was, taking some time out. I was single for 12 months and spent some time with me. And then my next step into a new relationship very much was around reading that invitation over and over and creating my own invitation. It was a woman I want to come into my life, and I created Arlene. I created my beautiful current wife, who I've been with for 15 years, and that came from the invocation of who I wanted to step into my life. And she did the same. Unbeknownst, we both had the invitation on our wall in our rooms, and when we got married, we actually read to them the invitations as part of our sacred vows. So create something that's real for you. What's he look like? How do you want him to be? Start to create him, paint him, draw him, speak about him, imagine him, and then be open. But the second part is, Rachel, what do you need to do in terms of your own personal spiritual development that might be blocking him coming in? Where are you not quite right for that knight in shining armor? Because you may want him, and you might be expecting of him to be that perfect knight in shining armor. But my challenge to you is, are you the maiden? And is there anything else you have to work on that might be blocking him coming in? Because it's very easy to say, oh, he's not coming in because there's not enough good men out there, blah, 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 blah. But it's always back to self-responsibility. What's the next level of clearing you need to do, Rachel, to let him in? Where's there still a block? And from people I meet who say there are no blocks, I'm ready, I totally disagree. Because it means you're perfect, and none of us are perfect. What else can you do? Find that one more thing you can do that might be blocking you. And if you can't find something, give me a call and I'll lend you some of mine, because I've got plenty of foibles. Seriously, we can always find something to work on. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. When you stand in front of your knight in shining armor, physically, what's he looking at? Is there more you can do to be more radiant, more open, more vulnerable, more in your space? Emotionally, are you emotionally connected and in alignment? Mentally, spiritually, intimately, sexually? So the challenge to you is, what else can you do to open that space up so he can step into that space? And then do that listing of, what's your perfect male? Can you describe him and write it down and create him and visualize him? I have a fear talking in front of people. So Melanie, yep, so that aspect of talking to people, that's practice. What's the fear? Is it the fear of not being heard? The fear of being cut off? The fear of being ridiculed? Yep, get clear on that. Go to that next level. Yeah, go down the rabbit hole with me, Melanie. Imagine you're speaking to somebody in a group, you haven't met them before. Before you open your mouth to speak, what's the feeling of fear? Where is it in the body? And name it. Name that fear. Is it the fear of being cut off, interjected, overruled, not believed, not heard? What's the old pattern? What's the old story? Because there will be one. I'm a public speaker. I've just had to public speak today in front of 35 people in a room. I'm used to it, but I still get a bit nervous. It goes through my head a little bit. What am I going to say? What if I get it wrong? What if I'm ridiculed? What if there's somebody else talking in the background? What do I need to do to hold that space? So it takes practice. But name the fear. Name the fear, so important. Okay? And if you need some support on that, give me a call, book in for your free 20-minute consultation. adrianhanks.com, there's a booking space on there, and you can book in a space. So he's dealing with melanoma, so there's lots of things one can do, Catherine, around that melanoma cancer space. There really is. What's he doing, Are you searching for the CBD oil, the cannabis oils? Is amazing, and I can put you on to somebody who's got what I believe is the best cannabis oil in Australia being made, biodynamically grown, absolutely incredible. Have you looked at black salving? Have you looked at meditation? Have you looked at healing? Is he doing enough? And is he, if he's down the medical route, the medication he's on, is he counteracting some of the side effects from that with alternative healing? So all those questions. It really is a consultation space in terms of mindset when cancer's there. I worked in the Cancer Retreat Centre with Ian Gawler down in Victoria for 3.5 years, so I've been around that cancer space a long time. We've actually had some incidents in the family lately. I've actually had a bit of cancer on my nose and in my leg the last few years, and I've been cleaning that up with black salve and energy work. So it's a whole big journey. And the thing with anything that's got that cancer label around it, the big message is self-empowerment. What's he doing to empower himself? Is he making the choices consciously for himself to empower himself? Because this is the lesson of cancer often. It's about speaking one's truth, it's about finding one's own clarity in the own healing. Because the only person that knows how to heal in that space is him. And that's the same with all us when we're going through illness. It's about empowering ourselves to find the right treatment that suits us. Sometimes it's very allopathic, sometimes it's going down the medical route, sometimes it's totally the opposite, and there's different outcomes for everybody. So, if your husband's open to it, get him to call me, get him to book in for a session, and I can certainly support him on the journey. Imogen, I just moved from the city to the country, always lived with arm's reach. A close family will be put out of my own with 2 fur babies. How do I navigate my way through this? Please. Thank you. So navigation, the thing about moving to the country from the city is find your community. Either find one or build one. Go to local groups. Go and talk to local people. Go and have a coffee with people. Get to know people. Because I've done both. I've done city living and country living. But if you find the right families and the connections in the country space, it can be an amazing community. There's less people, there's more connection. What do you need to do for you to be approachable? Where do you need to let go and be open to let people into your life? Where's the connection? Go to the shops, go to the meetings, join a group of some sort maybe. Invite the neighbour over for coffee. Go and knock on the neighbour's door. Go and make those connections. So this is about having a sense of self, putting oneself out there a little bit. So it might be out of your comfort zone a little bit, Imogen, but I'm suggesting, go out of your comfort zone a little bit and connect with people in your community. Maybe join a volunteer group. That's always a great thing to do. Go to the local library if there's a library. Go to the library, mobile library if it's coming in once a fortnight or whatever it does. Connect up. Go to the shops. And if you're in business, go to a little business meeting if you can, if they're there. Start a little group in your kitchen around a cup of tea. Invite people in who have similar interests to you. Join a swap group. Go on Facebook and look, is there something in your local area that you can join? So it's about taking a breath and joining up and making yourself seen and connecting with other people. And if there's an issue around that, confidence, then we can certainly do some work around the confidence. I hope that helps you a little bit. So, Krista, thank you. Yeah, Kate, hi Kate, watching. Holly, hello. Kate here, good afternoon. Yeah, hi. Imogen, I see myself blooming like the flowers. Just going to lift this up a little because it's very glary here. There's so much sunlight. I see myself blooming like the flowers, grounded and connected to the trees in the earth, bright like the sun to the country. Yep, so connecting up to the country, the energy of that Imogen would be a fantastic thing to do. So go and connect to that image. Go and connect up to the image of being in the country and being connected, being grounded and radiant, and let people see that. The people in your community will see that and then connect you. Will I find my special male mate soon? My penguin. Michelle, absolutely classic. I love it. Looking for your penguin. A bit like what I explained before. What do you need to do to be more in alignment so that when that penguin comes to meet you, he sees something special? Where are you still blocked? Where are you still not in alignment? Where are you still not developed in a certain area in your life? Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sexually, intimate, creatively, financially. Whatever areas maybe got a bit of a blockage around it still, where that when that penguin walks towards you, you go, not quite my fit. She's not quite there in that specific area of your life right now. So you know what, I'm just going to walk past her and go and find another penguin. So the self-responsibility to be in alignment as much as one can, so that when that emperor penguin walks past, he finds his queen penguin. Likewise, getting clear on what that penguin looks like. Is he an emperor penguin? Is he an Adelaide penguin? Is he a fairy penguin? What sort of penguin do you want? Get clear on that. Get really clear. Visualize him. Really get a sense of what he's going to look like for you and be like for you. And when you're clear and you've done the alignment work for yourself, and you put yourself in situations where you may, if you're a penguin looking for a penguin, well, you might have to go to a penguin colony. You don't go to a colony of cockatoos, because you're not looking for a cockatoo, you're looking for a penguin. So you have to put yourself in a social situation where the penguins will be, not where cockatoos will be, because you don't want a cockatoo. So the self-responsibility of being the place you need to be is really important as well. Okay? Really important. So Naomi, hi there. My messages for the... Okay, I'm just going to have a look here because I can't read because of the glaring sunshine. Hi there. My messages for about the next few months, please. Okay, so same thing for you. Messages the next few months for you, Naomi. So I'm not doing downloading from that spiritual perspective of what I believe or think or intuit that you might be doing. What I say to you is, you set your vision. You get clear on your vision for the next 12 months. What do you want to do? Visualize it, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and all other aspects of life. If anybody wants any support on that, go to my website, go to adrianhanks.com, go to the shop and download the free journal. It's got 10 life aspects in that journal, and you can work on that journal every single day to ascertain where you are right now in those 10 aspects of life. And it'll give you an indication where things are going really well and where maybe they're not going as well. Because journaling is a great way to stay on track and do the self-evaluation every single day to know where you are in life. And you start to see where things are not in alignment, what you may have to do. It might be, the first one is, where am I right now physically? Well, physically right now I'm feeling a bit overweight, I'm not eating the right food, I haven't been to the gym, I'm not doing my yoga. Well, guess what you have to do in the next few days? You've got to put in a process of losing weight, getting fit, and becoming more healthy in a physical world. So that's a really basic tenet of what we have to do. We have to take responsibility. So do the vision first. Get clarity. And then you'll know what you want to do in the next few months. It's all about bringing ourselves back to self. In 6 months or 12 months time, I want to look like that, walk like that, be like that, have that much money in my wallet, be living in a certain place, be living a certain vocation, want to be in a particular relationship. Get clear on the vision. And then once you start to bring the alignment in to do all the work to do that, the universe may then start delivering. But the universe only will deliver if we do the work to change ourselves to be in alignment to receive. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, and all other aspects of life. Okay? So yeah, there we go. That had to do this 12-12. So I'm just going to move a little bit as well, just to be able to read on the screen. It's so glary here today on the Gold Coast. That had to do this 12 of the 12, absolutely good time to do it. Imogen, 12 of the 12, good timing, tune into the energy of that. Hello, wonder ending for me, health. So Mandy, same thing, be specific. What is it about your health that you'd like some insight into, some support on? Let's get clear on it. So, no generic messages, please, because if it's generic, it's really hard to tune in. Because I'm not going to use psychic ability to tune into your health. I want you to empower yourself by asking what you actually need. So in terms of your health right now, For you, Mandy, what is it you'd like to know? How can I support you? How can I support you in your health? What questions do you have? What do you need to do? I'm just going to move over here a little bit, just so I've got a bit more shade. Hope you can still see me. But I do need to move because it's very hard to work in that glare. So I hope you can still see me. I can certainly see the writing on the screen a bit better here, which helps me because it was very, very glary there. So even if I'm a little bit more faint, it's actually a lot easier for me to read what's on the screen because I couldn't read it previously. So let me just shift around it a little bit more. There we go, I hope that's okay. So Tracy, I'm meeting new people. Will anything eventuate with today's date? Tracy, depends on your energy field. What are you trying to attract? Because if you're out there to attract a particular thing and you have that intent, if you have that desire, then yes, you probably will meet it. And if you're in a positive frame of mind, guess what you'll meet? Something positive. If you're in a negative mindset, guess what you'll meet? Something negative. So the question is, Tracy, is what are you carrying into the world today to meet? And is there a desire? Is there a desire for something to happen for you today? Get clear on the desire. What do you want to happen today? Is there a sense of, oh, I'd love that to happen today? Because if you put that energy out there and that desire, then the law of attraction will probably deliver that. So it's back to, to what do you feel like you want to do? Yeah, it's, an auspicious day today. It's the 12th of the 12th. There's some energy around it. So we can tune into that. But it's about what energy field am I carrying? How am I looking physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? How am I feeling? What am I putting out in the world? What am I emanating from my energy field? Are people picking up positive vibes from me? Are they loving what they're seeing and experiencing? If they are, then you'll get that law of attraction coming back. Okay? So Mandy, go down the rabbit hole with me a bit on that one if you want. And Tracy too, if you want to go down the rabbit hole a little bit with that as well, in terms of what's your desire. Michelle, thank you so very much. Totally understand that. Fingers crossed. Yep, fingers crossed, toes crossed. But more than that, mindset. Don't cross your mindset. Get clear on your mindset. That's the most important aspect. Naomi, have I met my next partner already or still yet to meet him? I'm ready personally and I've gone. So Naomi, I want to throw that back question to you. If I was meeting you now over a cup of tea and I said to you, hey Naomi, have you met your partner already? Or are you still ready to meet him? I want you to answer that. It's not up to me to answer that for you. That would not empower you. And I'm all about empowering you. So Naomi, I'm throwing that question back at you. Have you met your partner yet? Is he sitting there, he or she? I'm assuming it's a he, but there's not too much assumptions these days because people have different partners. But if it's a male, is he in your scope? Is he in your field? Is he in your social group? Is he somebody you really like but you haven't had the courage to speak to yet to say, hey, do you want to go on a date? Or are you waiting for him to speak to you? Or is he not there? You know that, I don't know that. I can speculate on that and I can, maybe try and tune into the energy field, but I want to empower you. I want you to say to yourself, well, actually, Bill is sitting in the table opposite me and I just haven't had the connection yet because of the fear or the doubt or misconnection. Or, you know what, the man's not in my energy field right now, he's not in my space. And if not, how are you going to bring him in? And it'll be the same as I've just said to other people just now. What are you doing to be more in alignment with yourself so that when that person does walk in the room, they feel it, smell it, taste it, experience it? Because that's self-responsibility, being the right energy field for that right person. Because we can expect that man to walk in the room that he may walk in, but what he's feeling towards you may get missed because you're not in alignment. And you have to be responsible for that. You have to be responsible for that, like all of us. Okay, thank you. I'm very positive. A life partner. Yep, so looking for that life partner. So the question is, Tracy, if you're walking out in this space today and your desire is to meet somebody with the potential of being a life partner, what you're giving to the world, is that attractive to him? Same thing. What do you need to do to be more fully in alignment? So now, for yourself, name one thing that you know you need to work on. in the next 5 or 10 minutes to bring yourself more into alignment. And we can always find something, all of us. You know, if we put our attention to it, we can find something every single day. Every single day. But what's the one thing you think you may have to work on to bring yourself more into alignment to attract that life partner into your world? What do you need to clean up? Do you need to go and do some psychotherapy work, some energy work, some physical gym work, some mental work? You know, what do you need to do? That's step one. And then step two is, once that's done, put yourself out into the world and say, here I am, I'm looking for a connection. Yeah. Nerves, yeah. Very nerving, isn't it? You know, old stories stop us going forward. You know, we get nervous. Nerves, by the way, are fear. You know, it's a fear. Nerves are fear. Anxiety is fear. Let's just name it for what it is. So if there's a fear there, name the fear. What are you afraid of? Name the fear. Name it and tame it. Name the fear. Work on the fear. Go and have some therapy around the fear. Go and have some coaching around the fear. And once you've cleared that, you'll be more open to letting that in. We've all been hurt in the past, so there's a fear of being hurt again. Yeah, we've all been put down in the past on some level, so we're fearful of being put down again. We haven't been loved in the right way in the past, so we're all fear of not being loved properly again. There's always, you know, there's 100 fears when we go back into a relationship. But we have to name the fear, work on the fears, find the courage, step back in anyway, face the fear, the potential fear, and it may or may not come, and if it does, we deal with it. But we have to name and face the fear. Always, always, always. So that's the challenge there for you, Tracy. You know, the nerve is a fear, so name the fear and work on the fear. Hi, Annette. I'm just going to stop and have a little bit of a drink. Very, very hot here. Ooh. Very, very hot. And just to let you know what I love to do with people, and I work as a life improvement specialist. I help people to improve their lives, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, in all other aspects. But the responsibility comes down to you to make the first move. And I say, if you make the move and you contact me, I promise you'll improve. So if you make the move, I promise you'll improve. But you have to make the move. You have to make the call. You have to book in for that session. You've got to connect with me. You've got to talk to me. We have to have that conversation. And if you make that move, if you make that move, I guarantee things will improve. Okay? But you have to make the move. So Tracy, fear he's broke, I'm not. Okay. You're broke in terms of financial broke or emotionally broke, because broke can have many connotations. So I'm sensing it's financially broke, but it might be emotionally broke, or broken in the heart. But if it's financial, then the first thing to do is putting out the vibe that the person you want to meet is financially secure. So that's what you have to put out there, and that might be the first part of the conversation. Is, hey, part of my fear about meeting my potential partner is that he's actually broke, and I'm just wondering. I know it's straight up here right now. I'm gonna, the elephant in the room is the fear, and I'm going to talk about it. And I just want to know how are you financially? Are you stable? Because there's a real fear around you not being for me. Maybe it's still okay to be in a relationship with that person, but at least you've spoken your fear, so you've alleviated something by speaking it. We had that topic today. Actually, it was very, very funny. We had a Santa sort of present thing today at the BX meetings, and I'm currently working with finance as my fear, sort of my nemesis, my clearing. I've been doing it for 18 months. I've got a team of people around me doing the financial investment work and investing in my financial education and in the global portfolio. And I've got a financial teacher. And today in the Santa, we had a bad Santa where everybody brings a present. I was given this book, which is absolutely perfect for me. So, The Barefoot Investor. And so for me, it's about how do I improve my finances. And it's a tough question. I was talking to a finance expert today, and they're saying the biggest thing they find when they have a client is talking about the negative aspect of finance. Because we've all got a finance story. We've all got a money story. I've got friends who are multi-millionaires and they're stressed. I've got friends who are broke and in debt and they're stressed. And I know people in the middle and they're stressed. Because the finance story is a big one for all of us. So if that's there for you, Tracy, I'm suggesting it needs to be put on the room pretty quickly. But get into the energy zone. I don't want to meet somebody who's going to stress me out by being broke. I want to meet somebody who's financially secure. Yeah. So when you walk in the room, you get a sense of that with them, but open the conversation with that. Difficult conversations means if he can respond in that difficult situation, he might be your life partner. He may be a potential partner, but if he can't engage in that open, honest relationship conversation with you, then he's probably not the man for you anyway, if you like open conversation. So it's a good litmus test to speak about the difficult things first when you're meeting a potential partner. It really is. I was lucky with Arlene when we met. We were study buddies in our psychotherapeutic counselling course together. And we were in a study group together, and we were in a counselling group together. So she learned all of about my shadow. I learned about her shadow. 18 months in the same group, week in, week out, going into therapy together, seeing the shadows, seeing the old stories, seeing the negatives and the shadows, and helping each other clear that up. So we had that deep communication connection from the beginning. So I know her story, she knows my story. We can go most of the way down the rabbit hole. I'm sure there's still things that we're not sharing, the fear, the shame, whatever's going on, but we do peel it back and we do try and speak as openly, as candidly as we can about the fears and what needs to happen. That's a conscious relationship. So if that's what you're looking for, this might be a good start to the relationship, is by talking about the difficult thing first. I hope that helps you. So let's have a bit of a tune-in check-in here. 12:42, the time flies on this Life Mastery Show. Don't forget, do go to my website, adrianhanks.com, book in that free consultation for 20 minutes with me. And let's ascertain where you are right now in your life and how I might be able to support you to bring yourself more into alignment. And I say, if you make the first move, I guarantee things will improve. It really will. We will have a shift. We will change something. Then if you choose to do deeper work with me, then of course it'll go deeper and there'll be more changes. But you have to take the responsibility to make the changes. Now, you won't make the change by somebody else doing the change for you, because they're not in your head, they're not in your mindset, they're not in your subconscious mind. They cannot change your story for you in the subconscious mind. The only person who can change that is you, with some coaching, with some support, with somebody who understands how the subconscious mind works. You can't wish it away. You can't magic it away. You can't wave it away. Sadly, that doesn't work with the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is a pattern, and we have to change the pattern. Yeah, and we have to do that in a psychotherapeutic way to change the patterning, to change the story, to change the belief. Yeah? And that belief is deep for some of us, really deep, and it's not going to shift unless you go into that quagmire of belief systems, name it, tame it, change it, and bring something else into the subconscious patterning. It really, really is, sometimes challenging, difficult, real, powerful work. But it's possible to do it, but you have to make the first move. Yeah, you have to do the first move. So let's just take a moment to honour 12-12, and just a little bit before we did 12-12-12-12, which was a pretty amazing, powerful moment. So let's tune into that, and let's get a vision of where you want to be in 12 months' time. And I will be taking on some one-on-one clients for 12 months. One-on-one clients for 12 months for 2020. So if you want to be one of those few, because I'm only taking a few this year, one-on-one for 12 months, not a group, because I've already got my group happening in a set, but one-on-one, once a week, once a fortnight, once a month. Then I do I do a financial package for that 12 months to get you through the 12 months. So it's like signing up for a real commitment of change. You can do, 1 or 2 sessions with me, or 3 sessions, or I usually advise 6. But if you want to do your 10 or your 20 sessions or your 52 sessions, to really get your life changes, you can do that with me too. Whatever works for you. Hi, I'm taking that's probably Sarah, Spiritual Events Directory. Hi, Adrian. So, hi, it's Junta. Hi, how are you? Good to see you on here, tuning in, checking in. So it's all about change, 2020 vision. What are you visualizing for yourself for 2020? What do you want to do? What do you want to change? I've got some big plans for 2020. I've been writing a novel for the last 3 years, and I've got this amazing editor that's done an amazing editing job for me took a lot of courage to go and, you know, find the time and the energy and pay somebody to edit the book, because I want the book to be right. It's got to be readable. I don't want those, you know, normal mistakes that people make that do not edit their books, because I don't know about you, but if I read a book that's unedited, it doesn't gel, because always looking for that something's not flowing here, you know, that something just doesn't flow, because it's not a flow in terms of what we're expecting in the editing space. So I found the editor. I want to get it published. I'm now looking for that publisher. I think, you know, I'm on track to finding that, and then putting my book out in the world for 2020. Huge big job. I've invented a game, like an interactive game, that I want to happen in 2020. Be tons of travel next year. You know, I've got 5 places I'm visiting next year. One of them I want to share with you right now, because this may be something for you. Is I'm going to Africa in August. I'm taking a group of people, only 8 people, to Africa. 12 days in South Africa. That's one part of the journey. And for those that want to then continue that journey, for another 9 days on top, we do a 21-day journey, and we go into Botswana and Namibia. So 12 days, South Africa, and that's amazing. You can go to the website, thespiritofafricajourney.com, see the videos, have a look. There is an interview process, because the synergy of the group has to be right. You do have to be a bit physically fit, because there's some walking to do. There's some overnight, we do a 3-day, 3-night walking safari under the stars on roll mats in a sleeping bag with the hyenas and the lions and the elephants. Pretty amazing experience. So there's some, you know, physically, emotionally, mentally in alignment to come along, because the group synergy has to be right. So if you'd like to go to Africa next year, and that's on your bucket list, contact me and get in quick, because that's starting to getting some interest. So I'm looking for people to commit to that. You know, financial commitment, time commitment, energy commitment. So that's another big thing I'm doing next year, is traveling. Got some, you know, interesting things happening next year. And I want to complete 3 more of my books. I've got about 9 books on the go, and in 2020 I want to complete the editing and publish those books as well. So a massive year for me. So I've set my vision. There's a few other small things in there as well, like moving and a few other things, and getting the businesses happening and flowing, and getting online programs happening. But my main vision is very clear. And then I'm doing the planning around it, and now I'm doing the action around it. So for 2020 you can do that. You can vision, you can plan, you can action. But I would not be able to do that without my coaches, without my mentors, without my mastermind partner, without the energy work, without the psychotherapeutic work to unblock the blockages, to let go of old stories and old belief systems. You know, who am I to write a book? You know, I can't write, and blah, 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 I wasn't educated enough. All that old nonsense in my mind. So I get support to break through that, because then I know I can do it with the support. If I try to do it by myself, it's really hard. So what support do you need through 2020? What's your vision in 2020? Where are you going? And where do you want to be in 12 months' time, on the 12th of the 12th, 2020? Yep. So you're into, listening and learning. That's all we can do as students. So we're teachers and students, we're students and teachers. We're always learning. I'm always learning something. I learned something today I had a team meeting today for BX networking, listening to the area leader. And I learned something today, because I'm a student. I'm a team leader. I'm a group leader for BX in Coolangatta. But the area leader, she had something to share, and I listened and I learned, and it was great, because it means I can take my business to another level by sitting back and being a student. So listening and learning. It's a great thing to do, Gienta. So we've got a little while left on here. We've probably got 10 minutes left. So any other questions? Anything else you need to know? Anything else you need some insight or some guidance on? Or some inspiration. I love inspiring. Just to let you know, after this, I'm heading down to Byron Bay for a presentation tonight. So if you're in the Gold Coast and you want to drive down to Byron Bay, I've got a free presentation at 7 p.m. in the community centre in Byron Bay. Gold Coast is only, 40 minutes to an hour down to Byron. 7 p.m. New South Wales time. And I'm doing a presentation on the new economic evolution of the world. And this is all about that financial education. and looking at that global portfolio that's worth $100 million, and I'm a shareholder in that, and I can, show you in that presentation how you can come involved. And if you do make the decision to drive from the Gold Coast or from Byron or from anywhere, or even, it doesn't matter from where, to come for this, 1 hour presentation, you get a free gift, you get 200 units given to you, and the potential future value of that, I can share what that could be. But come along if, finance is a challenge, if it's something you want to improve in your life, you have to go out to meet it. You have to go out to listen. You have to go out to, listening and learning. So if you want to learn and you're open to listening, come to Byron Bay tonight, 7 p.m, New South Wales time, in the community centre in Johnson Street. Seriously, it'll be worth an hour's drive. Fill your car up, bring some friends. You can even build a team and get some passive income from building your team. It's what I do. The new economic evolution of the world. And if you want to go to the website to check it out now, go to NEEW, New Economic Evolution of the World, NEEW community.com. So that's new with 2 E's, community.com. That's my website. Check it out. And I would suggest jump in your car and drive down to Byron Bay tonight. Come and see me. And learn something about finance. Learn how you can take finance to the next level and potentially change your future in a very short time. I've been studying it for 18 months. I've been to India, I've been to Belarus twice, I've been to Kuala Lumpur with the company. One of the trips was fully paid training in Belarus last year, and I've been back this year, and I've just come back from India, and I'll be going to Russia next year, and a couple of other places potentially as well, because I've been open enough to become a student, to learn and listen. And somebody showed me what I'd like to show you, and I'm on my journey now. I've got an amazing portfolio, with some pre-equity shares sitting there, ready to go into the public space, and it's really exciting to be the co-owner of a portfolio. So if you want to be in that space too, come to Byron tonight, 7 p.m, New South Wales time, and I'll show you how. Really exciting stuff. If not, neewcommunity.com, and go and have a look. But sometimes we have to go out of our comfort zone and get in the car and drive somewhere or go somewhere to learn. We really have to, if I want it, I have to take the responsibility to go and get it. I've got to meet halfway. So if you come to Byron, I'll deliver. Seriously, if you come to Byron, I'll deliver. You get your 200 free units, which is a bonus gift. You can join up, bring friends, bring a carload, bring a busload. If finance interests you in getting financially secure in the future, it's one of the 10 aspects of life. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, sexual, intimate, creative, family. And finance is a big part of that. Getting your finances in order. That's what I'm working on right now. Having a multi-millionaire mindset. Getting my book, getting my game, getting my portfolio in order. So that I can do the things I really want to do. I want to support people, I want to do things. So I have to study, which was great getting this book today. It was a fantastic Christmas present. The Barefoot Investor, I've been toying with it for a while. I nearly bought it 3 days ago and I didn't, because I thought, I might get it for Christmas, and hey-oh, I did. I got it as a Santa present today. So we are 5 minutes out from me closing up. So any other questions? We've had quite a few people on here coming and going, some people listening, and then over the week, I think last week, with my show from last week, I had 750 people viewing that video. So people don't listen in live. A lot of people come in and listen in afterwards to the recording because they can't be here. So if you're listening in right now to the recording, what I suggest is go to adrianhanks.com, go and get your free gifts off the shop, the journal, and there's some videos and other things on there too, but also book in for your free 20-minute session. And get in now and start the process now to prepare yourself for 2020. So you can create the vision, create the plan, maybe start some action. I was speaking to somebody today. I'm actually starting a men's group here on the Gold Coast in January. And one of the people working with me, I said, let's do some work now to prepare ourselves, both of us, ready for the 20th of January. So we're in peak condition for when we take those men through the journey. So we're not going to wait till after Christmas, because everybody's like, let's wait till after Christmas. Let's wait till the new year. And 80% of people who wait to do something don't actually get to do it anyway. If you wait till after Christmas or wait till the new year to come and make that call with me, 80% of you are thinking that right now, that I'm going to do that, won't do it. That's just the stats. Probably 90%. Because it's like out of the box already. But if you take action now, in the moment, and click on adrianhanks.com and go to the website and book in, then you know it's happening. Then you're taking action. Diane, anything good for me? What would you like to know? Let's go down the rabbit hole. You're probably the last question before I close up in a few minutes. So let's go down the rabbit hole with Diane, because I want to empower you to get clear on your question. Because when it's generic, it's not very empowering for you. So Diane, what do you want to know? Is it around your physical, your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, your relationship, your creativity, your finance? What is it you'd like to know right now? What area of your life is not ticking along well right now? Which is a little bit of an alignment right now? Because this is going to help you more than me saying, oh, you know, you're going to walk around the corner tomorrow and you're going to meet the partner of your life. It may or may not happen. But I can empower you by asking for what your desire is. So what are you desiring right now in your life to change? And then we'll finish up on this with you, Diane. So lucky last. So be with me on this and type it in for me. Let's follow this, because it helps other people. If you ask a question, it helps others. My brother took his life on Tuesday, so sad. Hunter, really sorry to hear that. Sadly, it's so common, yeah, with men and women, but men taking their lives. Yep, suicide rate is huge. Huge. And this is why this work is so important, to help people when they're feeling stuck, so they don't have to get to that space of taking their lives. Let's support that. What's really going on for these people who need to do that? Where is the opportunity to go and speak to somebody, speak to a coach, speak to a counsellor, speak to another man, to be in a men's space, to be in a men's circle? So Hunter, for you, what can you do right now to stay focused, to support this process for you and those around you? Yep. What can you do to support you and those around you? And to send those blessings, for your brother. To do something as meaningful from this. What can you do now to help others, to help yourself, to support others? Yeah. So namaste and blessings. Yeah. So Diane, if you're going to come down this road with me with a question, then do so now. Otherwise I'm going to have to finish up in a couple of moments. Yeah, good night from the UK, Melanie. Good morning, please tell me about my life. Whoa, I haven't got another 12 hours, Rani, because to tell you about your life would take like forever. Why don't you tell me something about your life, Rani, about what's not in alignment right now that you'd like to change? What's the one thing in your life right now that's not in alignment that you'd like? And then I've got 2 minutes. So Rani, because Diane didn't come back to me. So Rani, come back to me. What's the one thing in your life right now that's not in alignment that you'd like to change? You have to take responsibility to name that. Because it's so generic. Tell me about my life. Wow, where do we start? 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years. Blessings, Hunter. Blessings. Blessings. So Rani, time is ticking. If you've got something quick, you've got about 10 seconds to type something. Otherwise I'll have to let it go, because I do finish this show at 1 o'clock Queensland time, on the dot. It's 1 hour every Thursday, midday to 1 Queensland time. And I offer the opportunity, open the space, and then it's your choice, your responsibility if you want to go down that rabbit hole with me. If you don't want to do it here, go to my website, adrianhanks.com, book in for your free 20-minute consultation with me, and we can certainly discuss it there, and we can talk about your life and where you're going and what your vision is for 2020. So if anybody wants to jump on board and do something deeper with me, have a look at my website, have a look at what I offer, what I charge, how I work. And I say, if you're in Byron Bay tonight, want to come down there, just drive down. Make the effort. What else are you going to do tonight? Watch Netflix? Watch a movie? Get onto Facebook? Like do something meaningful. If you can spare the space tonight, if you've got something else on, come to Byron. If you're on the Goldie, it's easy. I'm driving down from Robina right now, today. It's like 1 hour's drive from Robina to Byron. So if even from Brisbane, a couple of hours, seriously could change your life. So I'm trying so hard to sell my house and move on. That's tough. I'm really sorry to hear you lost your husband. So selling your house, looking at why it's not selling. What's the blockage around it? Are you ready to let go? Have you done some clearing? Have you done some ceremony about letting go? Have you got the right price? Is it too cheap? Is it too expensive? All those things. And that's an energy thing. And we can check that with some muscle testing or some pendulum work to find the exact price, the exact timing, even the right real estate. I do a lot of this work, particularly with my wife Arlene. We get really clear on how to sell the house. And my wife's done this before, Arlene, she's amazing at this, and I work with her on this space, where somebody in Melbourne was struggling to sell the house. We got involved, we did some energy clearing, we worked on the person selling the house, and we changed real estate because it wasn't the right alignment, and they sold their house in 7 days. Yeah, we didn't take a 10% cut. Maybe we should have done, that might be part of the deal. But we can certainly help energetically about moving on. Have you done the ceremony to let your husband go from the property? So there's some ceremony energy work that might need to be done, Rani. So please do contact me and see if we can find some support for you in that space. So Hunter, yep. Rani, yes. So please do contact me. There might be some more to be done. There usually is. If it's not selling, it means there's a blockage. So look, I'm over. It's 2 minutes past 1. You have an amazing 12/12 day. And I really look forward to seeing you next Thursday, midday Queensland time. And please do contact me. And seriously, come to Byron Bay tonight. Okay, take care. See ya. Namaste.